I'm not taking you home, I'm taking you to the stars with my final recommendation, which is like a 15% allocation in my real money portfolio. And trust me, that is a ton of money, right? This is very material to my life. It's a big allocation. So I'm watching this one very carefully. And it's got so big because it's delivered like a 12x return in the last couple of days. Like it's gone bananas. Anyway, let me tell you about Rocket Lab, ticker RKLB. We think of them as a space company. They're actually an end-to-end space company. So sure, they launch stuff, but they also manufacture satellites, and then they operate satellites when they're in orbit. And there's even hints that they might be deploying their own constellation to compete with companies like Starlink. They're a leader in small satellite launch, so they're so reliable at putting payloads of about up to 300 kilos into orbit. Would you believe? So they've done 68 launches since they started their Electron program, which is their small launch program. 64 of those 68 have been successful. Space is supposed to be hard, but Rocket Lab, frankly, make it look easy. They're now building on this incredible track record to launch a medium lift reusable rocket, which they call Neutron. And you've seen SpaceX, their Falcon 9, like the thing they're using today to put all of their Starlink satellites into orbit and also deploy payloads for military and commercial customers all over the world. Well, when Rocket Lab bring Neutron to the pad, the second half of this year, they're planning a first test launch that's going to be competitive with SpaceX in terms of like the payload that they can ship into orbit. But there's so much momentum built into this stock right now. They make the most of their money from the space systems segment, which is like manufacturing satellites and building them for their customers. But it's the momentum and the excitement that retail investors have around this as a launch company. And sure, launch is really critical to their overall business model, but it's not really where they make their money. So if you try to look at the financials for this today, it's kind of ugly. It's overvalued. And so a prudent investor would keep a pretty tight control over their allocation to this one. And it's probably one I'm going to have to start trimming reluctantly soon. I've got my finger poised on that button. So for that reason only, valuation, and I've said this so many times in this episode, this is a reduced conviction rating of 5 out of 10, but that's only because of the price.